Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. Great to see you all here this evening. And I want to tell you that this particular psychic hour is one of my favorites to do every year because this is March. And as you know, on the 17th, we are celebrating St. Paddy's Day. So everyone who is of Irish descent, I want to wish you a happy St. Paddy's Day. And I'd like to take just a moment as we begin tonight's session to just clarify a few things about St. Paddy's Day. Everyone associates St. Patrick's Day, of course, with the luck of the Irish, and we think of all the wonderful Celtic music, and we all wear green, but very few of us actually know who St. Patrick was. St. Patrick wasn't really a friend to most of us in the metaphysical field. St. Patrick, according to fable, chased all of the snakes out of Ireland. Now, what a lot of you aren't aware of is that this snake was symbolic for the Druids. So St. Patrick achieved sainthood by essentially eradicating Druidism from Ireland. So when we celebrate St. Paddy's Day, we are actually celebrating the name day for a saint that was kind of destructive to a lot of historical metaphysical knowledge and certainly natural understandings of how nature works and how the interaction of energies work. Meanwhile, I still celebrate St. Paddy's Day. I still wear green. I still love the holiday because I am of Irish descent. I'm a mongrel. I'm mixed with all kinds of things in me, about 9 different things. But one of the heritages I'm most proud of is my Irish heritage because the Irish people are just lovely, lovely people. And so, yes, I am definitely celebrating St. Paddy's Day this year. And my favorite place to celebrate it is our local Irish pub, where I love to have lunch and eat all that wonderful, lovely Irish food. So those of you who are on this call and are Irish also, or a part of you being Irish, I want to wish you all a great holiday. And now you know a little bit more about where the holiday actually originated. So I'm celebrating not St. Patrick, but everyone of Irish descent. Whether you're from North or South Ireland, Irish, whether you're Protestant or Catholic, I don't care. If you come from the island of Ireland, that was hard to say, I'm celebrating you this month. So, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, please put on your calendar, our next psychic hour is going to be on April 7th. And so it's early next month as well. We're going to have a wonderful time next month as we move into the spring and we celebrate the spring solstice. It's just going to be a great time for us to have our psychic hour. I also want to tell you about a couple of specials I have this month. I have a reading special that everybody, kind of shudders as April 15th approaches, IRS tax day. And so right now in March, we're all scrambling to get everything together. And I thought, honestly, I owe my clients the reading that my guides and I can give to you that will help you to really get a handle on your finances, not just for tax purposes, but to be able to get the most out of whatever money you're bringing in. With my guides, casting an astrology chart, working with the tarot, you see how I work here, we can help you to look at what is the profession you're going to be able to make the most money at and be happiest at. We can look at how you can plug up all of those areas in your life where money seems to leak away. We can tell you how you can actually bring more money in and for the same amount of work and effort that you're putting out. So I know this doesn't sound very spiritual, but frankly, how to make the most of your physical resources really is spiritual, because that's what will allow you to really apply yourself to your own spiritual development. And so if any of those things interest you, please go to my website. It's www.candyanastasia.com and book a reading with me this month. That particular reading about how to handle your finances in the best way possible is not one of my targeted readings, but it would be the same price as a targeted reading. So if you go to targeted readings and you just book anything there, and then when you connect with my assistant, Lisa, tell her you want the March special, and she'll automatically know that what you want is this reading I just spoke of, where you're going to be able to make the most of your financial situation. And if you are in a hole, let my guides and I help you to find your way out of it. Okay? If you're doing great right now, let my guides and I help you to find out how to do even better. That's what the focus is this month. How to really apply that luck of the Irish, only it isn't luck. Let me tell you, it's not luck. It's good planning. And I can help you to do that. Now, in addition to that reading special, I have something very special just for my VIP members. And those of you who aren't VIP members, it's easy to rectify that. Just go to my website and join at any time. For VIP members, I'm offering my tarot course. Get this, it's normally $297. That first level tarot course, I'm offering it for half price, $148 for you, all during the month of March. All VIP members can purchase it for that amount. And why? That's my thank you to you for being a member in my site. I really appreciate that support. It's a dream come true for me to be able to have all of you there supporting my work, participating, growing, learning from all the classes that are in that VIP area. And so I'm doing something back. You get the tarot program. This is in addition to the one that's free. If you're a VIP member, it's in the VIP membership area. It's in addition to that one. It's the program that's on the front of the site, the tarot level 1. That's all done in video. Very, very easy to learn from that. Half price to VIP members. Okay, the only other announcement I have to make is the same one I make every time we meet each month. I have limited time to answer all of your questions. I always will do as many as I can get to and try to do them well. If you do not get your question answered this evening and you're here, physically here tonight with me, I will welcome your simple email question anytime up until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. One simple question if you didn't get your question answered this evening. And we're going to spend the rest of our time talking about you and whatever comes up. Now, each time Lisa calls on someone, I see hands already up. If you have a question, you can either raise your hand in right here on the board in front of you, or you can write your question into the question box. Either way, if it's in the question box, Lisa will read it out if she chooses you. Lisa gets to pick who gets to ask their questions, and she usually chooses people who are new first, or people who she hasn't called on in a while, okay, to try to give everybody a chance. Now, when you're called on, please remember to put your hand down, number 1. Number 2, I'd like to know your first name, where you're calling from. That's always fun because we do get people from all over the world, so it's fun to know where you're from. And I'd like to know, before we talk about anything else, what you're most grateful for in your life right now. I'd love for you to share that with us. So your name, where you're from, and what you're most grateful for. Then, please give me your astrology sign, and I'm going to be able to give you some information immediately based on your astrology sign, looking at this horary chart that's in front of you on the screen. And then finally, we'll ask you a specific question. So, Lisa, who is our first victim of the evening? Don't you love how I say that, victim?
Took it right out of my mouth. All righty. First victim tonight, lucky pick, is going to be Kelly. Kelly, you are unmuted.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sandy.
Hi there, Kelly.
Thanks for taking my call. Tonight, I am grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful that you put these sessions on and make your information available for us all to learn from.
Thank you, Kelly, for being here. It works both ways. Kelly, where are you calling from?
I am calling from Virginia, and I am a Libra.
Okay, let's give you a little astrological information first. Folks, pay attention to this because the information I'm going to be giving to Kelly about Libra, and notice the ascendant on this chart. Look at my cursor is Libra. This is going to pertain to all of Libras on the call this evening. It'll also pertain to all of the other cardinal signs. That would be the Aries, the Cancers, and the Capricorns. So listen up. Okay, Kelly, first of all, right now, you are needing to really focus on you. This Libra is on the first house. This whole house is about you. It's about how you step forward into life, how you want people to see you, how you want to come across. And what's interesting is we have planets in Cancer, and we have them in Aries, and we have them in Capricorn, all those cardinal signs, and all that pressure is coming out into the sign Libra. So in your life right now, you're having to be diplomatic. You're having to look at a lot of your relationships, both personal and professional, and you're having to make choices and decisions about them. Who needs to be in my life? Who's in the way of my own growth? Who needs to step aside? Who do I need to work with that maybe isn't my cup of tea, but it's really what needs to happen right now? How can I build upon my relationships and build upon my family and build upon my career in a way that's going to bring healing into all of our lives? Folks, if you're a Libra, that's what's in your mind and your heart right now. And if you are a Cancer, an Aries, or a Capricorn, you're also participating in that because it's about family, 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 and working on healing issues where maybe things haven't gone right, or maybe you've got to get past some losses or some difficult experiences. And it's really about putting life back together again, but in the way that you are going to feel best about it. How's that fit, Kelly?
Well, it fits wonderfully. It was funny signing on tonight. I was like trying to think, well, do I have a question or not? And I just had this strong feeling that I should raise my hand. And you just described everything that's going on with me, which leads to a whole lot of questions. So I guess I'm working on all of that.
So what's your one question?
I guess it would be, how do you, one of the things that I'm working on is recognizing the patterns in my life. And I know from listening to you before that in order to grow, we need to, I guess, recognize the patterns and then let them go. How do you do the letting go so that you don't grab it back sometime? How do you do that permanently?
First off, I want to tell you that patterns, okay, and you've heard me say this before, so I know for you this isn't new, but for some of our listeners it is. Any behavioral pattern that you put enough energy into that it actually becomes a pattern that is repetitive, okay? Any behavioral pattern like that in your life is a pattern only because when you originated it, it was a survival mechanism. You needed it. That's the reason why it became such a powerful pattern that it keeps repeating. You see? The reason why those patterns are difficult to let go of is because initially they weren't difficult, they weren't bad, they weren't obstacles. Initially, when you first started them, they helped you. So you created greater and greater intensity and you put more emotion into them, didn't you? until now you realize that you've outgrown whatever that pattern is. You've actually outgrown it. And so now okay, well, here's the pattern. It's coming back again. I've got to be up to this thing I really don't want to do. I really want to be done with this. And that's what happens. We outgrow those patterns. The reason why they're so hard to get rid of is because initially we put so much emotional intensity into them. So we push them. It's like having a plate of spaghetti. We used to love it, right? And our mom thinks that we still like spaghetti. So, we push it away. No, Mom, I'm not eating spaghetti anymore. And we visit her house again. There's the bowl of spaghetti. No, Mom, I'm not eating spaghetti anymore. That's really all that's pattern is. Do you understand? You think of it in terms of something which is just plain energy. It's not a person. It's not a thing. It's not an object. It's not a job. It's not a behavior. It simply is this thing that you have put enough energy into that it keeps coming back to you, kind of like it's stuck to your finger, because the universe is responding to the old you that used to like spaghetti. Is this making sense to you?
I think so. So basically, going forward, I shouldn't need to repeat the pattern.
Exactly. Once you've really outgrown it, the universe is mommy, okay? The universe is going to keep delivering the bowl of spaghetti that you no longer have an interest in. But it thinks you still want it. So for the first month, the first couple of weeks, the first year maybe, every time you turn around, there's another bowl of spaghetti. But every time you pull your attention from it, you say, no, I don't do spaghetti anymore. The universe starts to get the message. Just like Mom finally learns that she's not giving you spaghetti when you come to visit anymore. You get it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about making that so simplistic, but sometimes it's easiest to understand how the energy of things work when we take our emotional attachment out of them. Okay?
Right.
And obviously a pattern that involves a past lover, for example, is a whole lot harder to push aside than a bowl of spaghetti. But it's the same exact principle. Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And Lisa, who is our next caller?
All right, your second victim for tonight is going to be Courtney. Courtney, it says you're self-muted. There you go.
There you go.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good, Courtney. How are you?
I am doing good. I am from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I am most grateful for my family.
And that's really not a surprise at all. And what's your sun sign, Courtney?
Aquarius.
Okay. Now that's a little bit of a surprise. I thought because family is so intense right now with those cardinal signs, I thought sure you were going to say you were one of them. An Aquarius is not a cardinal sign. Aquarius is a fixed sign. And here you are over here in what would be the fifth house in astrology with Venus right there in Aquarius. And you know what's beautiful about this, and remember folks, this is going to pertain to the Aquarians, the Taurians, the Scorpios, and the Leos, okay? Right now, you guys have the potential to get what you want, but you've got to be focused. Don't you love it when I say that? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Venus is what we want. Venus is being able to make the decisions and the choices and pare away all of the garbage that gets in the way and really see the chalice very clearly. It's as if we're on King Arthur's quest as we move through life. And now we can see, oh, that's what the chalice is. That's what I want. Okay. So now is a really, really good time for you to get clear on what you want, who you want, where you want it, how you want it, paring away all the stuff that just doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Now,
Okay.
also, you fixed signs, and you're certainly one of them. You've got a lot of financial stuff going on, don't you? Okay. And this sometimes, please forgive me for how I'm going to phrase this, But sometimes those financial issues tend to get in the way of what we really want. Because, here's the job that I really want, and all of a sudden somebody offers me this job that's got a higher salary but isn't what I want. Talk about a carrot, you see.
Uh-huh.
Or, gee, I really met this man of my dreams, but all of a sudden the guy I've been dating for the last 5 years proposes marriage. It's
Right.
it's this is what's happening to you guys. It's like you are finally getting clear on what you really want, and the universe is bringing up something to test you.
Okay.
So you have to make the decision between two things: the one you think you want but you haven't tested, and the one that you used to think you wanted that's tried and true but you're not sure you want anymore. So this is a decision time, guys. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. How'd that hit you?
That's good. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. And what is your specific question?
I was just curious if I will find a solution for my health issues, just to pretty much feel good every day.
Okay, let's talk this down, okay? And now this is specific to you. It's not going to be really for other Aquarians that are here, although if they have health issues, it certainly could apply to them, okay?
Okay.
Here's where you are in the chart. Your health issues are going to be 6 houses away. It's right
Okay.
here. Oh, wow, isn't this neat? Number 1, if you really think about it and look around the family, you're going to find somebody else in the family with the same health issues. Somebody else
Okay.
who's had those same health issues. So, if you look at them, you know the process: A, B, C, D, E. The thing is, the medical system has changed. And there are solutions in today's world that there weren't before. Okay? And
Uh-huh.
so you're having an opportunity here to break out of the family pattern. That's very important. So pinpoint who that person is and promise yourself you're not doing it their way.
Okay. I don't have a whole bunch of family history. My dad was adopted and my mom doesn't know who her father was. So I only have, honestly, my grandma to go off of.
Well, first of all, you can talk to your grandma, which is, by the way, a very good thing. This is about family right now. Look at this. I love it. You can talk to your grandma and ask her, did anybody ever have health problems that I've had in the family? Do you recall that? But what
Mm-hmm.
you can also do, we happen to have some of the most amazing DNA testing, genealogy testing available in the world today.
And I actually did that, and it came back twice that I have no DNA in my saliva.
Of course you do.
I was like, oh, well, okay.
Whoever you're dealing with, go to a different company. They don't know how to. Okay. You'll love
Okay.
when you have DNA, I promise you.
I would hope so. I mean,
Yeah, and it's in your saliva. But I would go to a different company if that company is doing that. There are lots of them out there. And find a company that actually does I'm trying to remember the name of the one that I've been working with myself. I've done this with a couple of them because they're fun. But one of them, I think it might be legacy.com. That's familiar. At any rate, they actually they pare all the DNA down and they say, wow, your relatives came from this part of the world. That's why I know so many of them were Irish. Okay. And then they actually track the DNA and they say, okay, you're in this tiny echelon of people in the world that might have this particular type of illness. Isn't that interesting? The
yes.
thing is that if you can track it back and you can find out what different people have done about it, either who are family connected or maybe have the same illness in the past, you know that if it didn't work for them, you're not doing that.
Okay.
Okay? So what my guides are saying is now is your chance to be a pioneer, to step out and find something new. Abraham Hicks, who channels through Esther, always says, if you move in the direction that brings relief, you are always going to move forward in a positive way. And that's incredibly important to you right now because of the health
Yes,
that you're dealing with. Okay?
absolutely. Yes.
Here's the health for the entire chart. And in tonight's horary chart, we have Sun, Neptune, Mercury, and Chiron, which is the healing planetoid, all in the house of health. And I would be willing to bet that almost everybody who comes on this evening has questions either about their own health or the health of somebody they're concerned about. And in
Right.
every case, because Neptune is 4 degrees from the sun here, in every case, the real problems are being shielded. Understand what I'm saying?
I do.
You're not getting a correct diagnosis. So folks, everybody here, if you've got a health problem, I'm telling you right now, based on this chart, if you are under medical care, you're not getting a correct diagnosis. And the way that you must proceed in order to regain health for yourself or your loved one is to intuit how you want to be treated. So don't just go to one doctor, go to 3 and get 3, and don't tell them you're comparing, but get 3 diagnoses so that you can intuit which one feels right to get on the right path. And when you start to follow your feelings, oh wow, you're going to start to make that break with whatever this condition is that my guides are saying is family connected, it's genetic, okay?
Okay.
And as you follow your intuition, that is going to lead you to healing, and you're going to be able to read about it because Mercury is communication, it's reading, it's foundation education. You're going to be able, once you get on the right path yourself, yeah, this feels right. I think this is what's going on. Now you're going to be able to go online and read and read and read and read and find out that there are many, many other people, probably who all have the same DNA as you, that have the same situation, and a lot of them have healed it. And you're going to
Okay.
find out how. So you have homework.
Yes, absolutely. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This, by the way, folks, is why I love astrology, and it's why I love horary astrology, because we can actually find stuff like this in the chart. And honestly, if you follow that advice from my guides who are astrologers, you're gonna find your healing. You're gonna find your way out of whatever it is that's bothering you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I will do my research.
Oh, and incidentally, one other thing here, because, okay, there is a connection through these planets back to the second house, where we have Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the sex organs, which also has a whole lot to do with hormone balance. Please have your hormone balance checked.
That's very funny you say that, but yes, I will definitely do that.
That may be kind of the root of what's going on here. Okay.
Yeah, that does have quite a bit of that. Yes, that describes it.
Good, because it's fixable. But you got to trust yourself before you trust the doctors. You know, doctors are. I hope nobody here is a doctor, but understand this. We have a fabulous medical system today because we can do so much with disease and illness. Doctors are trained to be absolutely fabulous mechanics on the vehicle of your body. But as many tests as they have, and as many different doctors as there are with as much experience as they have, it still can't compare to your own connection to your own body.
Right.
You've got to be your own supporter of your own health in order to get the best results. Okay? The system's there, it's great, but it will never be as good as it can until you become self-responsible and you really take control of your own self-care. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you again.
You're very welcome. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
And Lisa, who is next?
All righty, our next person is going to be Judy.
Hello, Judy.
Judy, can you unmute yourself?
I did. You know, it's funny. I just moved my paper over closer to my iPad so I can sit and write, and then you picked my name.
I love it. You're psychic.
Yeah, too.
There's,
It's so cool.
yes, it is. It's
Um,
wonderful.
I'm calling from the high desert in California, and I'm a Libra, and I'm very thankful for all the rain we've had out here, and that I've been able to be safe because, people in California don't drive well in the rain.
Yeah.
So every night I get home after driving in the rain, I'm like, thank you, God, for helping me to be safe.
Mm. There's
So that's
there's your health thing again. And by the way, Neptune, 4 degrees away from the sun, Neptune rules water. I love it.
way cool.
The one good thing
So,
being in the high
oh no,
is that you at least are at the top of the slope. Water runs downhill.
that's right. That's right. So my question is, this goes back to my best recollection. I would say I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. I was in my mother's rocking chair, and next thing I know, I'm floating above the doorway of the living room and the kitchen, and I'm watching her make dinner. And I feel both times I was very much in control of this floating feeling. And I'm pretty sure that one time I hit my funny bone and maybe I passed out. So, and I have passed out before from hitting my funny bone when I was a child in elementary school. But what was this experience like? Like, what would you call it?
Oh, that's easy. You astral traveled, consciously aware. Now you know it's really true. And the beauty about having astral traveled consciously is that once you have astraled consciously as you did, you never ever have the same fear of death that the average person has, because you know that you're not your physical body. You know that there's another part of you that exists completely outside of the body that when you eventually physically die is going to go on. Isn't that wow? You know that. You know that down to the core of your being because you had that experience. You astraled. And the exact experience you described is so typical about the way many, many people astral consciously for the first time. It is a natural impulse born into us because, we human beings are still animals, right? We are still have an animal nature. All animals do this. If the physical body is in pain, the animal's natural response is going to be to leave the body. So,
Interesting.
yeah, so many people, will hit their funny bone, bam, all of a sudden there they are hanging over their body. Uh-oh, how do I get back in? Okay? It's really, really common. Somebody's about to have a car accident, and, next thing, excuse me. I don't know what that was, but it certainly,
Yeah, me.
alarm going off somewhere. That just went right up my back. My apologies, folks. When a lot of times somebody will be about to have a car accident, and the next thing they know, there they are lying on the grass, and they wake up, and somebody says, well, what happened? And they say, I don't have a clue. Well, you did blah, 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 blah. And no, I don't have a clue. I wasn't there. Okay, what happened? Their energy body left their physical body while their physical body went through and did whatever it did just in case it was going to get hurt. So sometimes we actually leave the body when there is pain. Sometimes we leave the body when there's just fear of pain. Okay, very, very common, very common. But no doubt you had an astral traveling experience. So you can honestly say to people, I've astral traveled. You have. But by the way, we all do that when we sleep. Normal and natural, we all astral travel. But most of us don't do it consciously when we're in our normal waking mode.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is. Very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
And who else has a question?
Well, everybody in the room has a question, but
I see it.
the next one is going to be Justin. If I can unmute him. Justin, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, Justin. Are you there? He's probably frantically trying to unmute. I think I hear you. Hello? I hear music in the background.
Hello?
Come on.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi. That was my son. He wanted to get on here tonight, but now, he's being shy. So I guess I'll be on here.
Do I have Justin and who are you?
I'm Janet
Okay,
from
so
Bradley.
do I have Justin and Janet? I do, don't I?
Yeah. Yep. And he's a Libra, and I'm a Pisces.
Okay, well, guess what? You two are the highlights of the evening. Here's that Libra in the first house. Justin, it is about you right now. And here's Libra in the sixth house. And why are you so concerned with, number one, your psychic development, your spiritual development, which is kind of cool, but also you're concerned with health issues. And I don't know if they're your own or somebody else's, but I have to tell you, that person, whoever it is, they're on the mend. Things are getting better for them. So let it go and pay more attention to yourself. Okay, what is your specific question?
Well, he's not giving me it. He's a little shy. So I'll ask my question right now. Mine's about health also. I see everybody else's is.
Yep.
Well, like, for instance, I have a lot of problems health-wise with different doctors. I don't know if I'm getting the right treatment or not. But I have just been to my other doctor, and they gave me like a memory test, which I had failed. So they're going to send me further. And my thyroid, they can't get that in check, and I'm just a mess. So do you see any help for me?
Well, I've got a couple of things I want to ask you to do. The first thing is that relative to your thyroid, the thyroid is very important because when it fails, the next thing that's going to fail after that is your heart. Okay?
Okay.
There's a system here. And when if you're a woman and your thyroid is out of balance or is having problems, the reason it's having problems is because your estrogen and progesterone have been out of balance probably for 30 years. So you need to go, guess what? Never mind going to the thyroid doctor. You need to go to a holistic practitioner who treats the whole body and focuses on the hormones. Isn't that interesting? Neptune, folks, rules hormones, and here it is 4 degrees away from the sun. So I don't care whether you're a man or a woman on the call this evening, we are really somehow exploring hormones relative to health issues today. And, the problem with hormones is when your hormones are out of balance, the illnesses that you get can look like so many different things, when really what's going on is your body's chemistry isn't balanced. Okay?
Yeah, because I have an immune deficiency.
Yeah, and that's probably related to it. Exactly. And
I've got the whole night.
The thing for you, hon, is that the doctors are, they take this test and basically the system says if the test is within these limits, you need this drug. So they put you on a drug. That drug takes your balance off. Now they give you another test. Okay, you're off in this. Now you need this drug. So you've got dozens of drugs going on that are throwing your body into a total disarray. And frankly, of course, you're sick. Okay? You need to go to somebody, a medical doctor, a practitioner, but a holistic practitioner who's going to systematically take you off of those drugs one at a time and get you down to the basics and then retest and get your hormones in balance and return you to health. Okay.
Yeah. See, my problem is there's not many around here. I can't find one.
Then I'm going to suggest you go online and find believe it or not, you can actually get medical practitioners online who will work with you. Go online.
Oh, okay.
Check them out online. Make sure, check the credentials. Make sure that you're dealing with somebody with the right medical doctor credentials, but ask your questions, pare it down. And like I said to the earlier caller, take charge of your own health, because right now you're lost in the medical system, and that's just not a happy place to be.
No.
My guides do not think there's anything wrong with your mind. They think that
thank God.
is that all these drugs that you're on are having contraindications that are creating problems with your mind.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, since you said my son had some maybe health, like thinking of health, did you see what that is?
He's
Because he's hiding.
he's concerned about you. Okay.
In fact, I can believe that. Yes, because he keeps asking me.
He's also, I'm assuming he's not married yet because he's also got a lot of concerns, a lot of questions about a relationship. And I don't know if that's the relationship he is in or if it's the relationship he wants to be in. Okay.
Well, he had one that passed, and it's been now almost 2 years.
Yeah, but
So he's been ever since.
yeah, that's that. For you, it's 2 years. For him, it was yesterday. He's not. He's not.
Right.
Yeah. Tell him, and I can tell him because he's right there hiding behind you. Um, as soon as you get your act together and get the courage up to ask that person that you think you might be interested in, just ask. As soon as you take that step forward, your star is going to start to shine, and you are
Okay, great.
in the right relationship. But you have to stop, hanging around and feeling sorry about it and worrying about, oh my God, if I get into another one, what's going to happen with that? And blah, 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 blah. You need to take the step forward. Just do it. Get out of your own way. Just do it. And all of a sudden, things are going to get better. Okay?
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
But
I love you. You're a blessing.
Yep. Okay. And is that,
All right.
did that get it for both of you? I hope.
It sure did.
Good.
It sure did.
Good luck to you both.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And who else is online with a burning question?
Well, I was opening up for the highest bid, but we don't have time for me. So I'm going to see. Let's see. Oh, I think the gentleman I was about to pick on left. He must have felt the energy coming his direction.
He went into hiding.
He just vanished. Okay, let's go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Am I unmuted? Hi.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. I'm appreciative that I'm not going to be sick tomorrow.
Yes.
So, yeah, I've been definitely having a bad cold for the last few days, and so when you said everybody's dealing with health things, I just laughed. I thought, well, that's for sure. But I'm in Colorado, and I'm a Gemini, and my question is it's about my daughter. She's 18, and we're getting ready to do all the college. Well, she's applied for the colleges. She's been accepted for every college she applied to. And it's funny because she wants to be a doctor. So there's no doctors here yet, but well, I don't know. But I'm, also teaching her to protect herself in other ways, like the way you teach us to protect ourselves, and through good energy. And I'm sorry I can't say it the way you do right now. But anyway, we're just really stressed through this college trials right now and picking and deciding. And I'm just wondering if you have any insight on that, on how it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's going to be in-state.
You think so?
Well, she only applied to in-state places. She's always said that to maybe go abroad for a semester, but
yeah, she may start out in state, but I want you to do the astrology dance with me, okay? This
okay.
is Gemini, 9th house. This talks about you thinking of big changes happening in your home and family. That's your daughter, and she is going to be coming back and forth, but she's going to be away. So she may be in state, but she's going to be far enough away. She's going to probably be staying on campus or having housing off campus, because this is all about travel. Okay, it's all about the travel, passing back and forth. Now,
Okay.
she's your daughter, so here she is, 5 houses from the first. We call that spinning the wheel. Here she is, Libra, right here on the first house. This is, everything is right now. It's all about her. This is this is her time becoming. This is wow. This is super duper.
Yeah.
Right. And that's as it should be. And I'll tell you, your daughter she's compromising her desires right now, for the family and for her friends and for what she thinks everybody else wants of her,
Uh-oh.
where she's at right now. So she's probably not knowing everything she really truly wants, you see? Because,
And we do tell her that she doesn't need to know.
right. And here's the third house is her education. Look at that, Jupiter. Jupiter rules long distance travel, and Jupiter rules study abroad, and Jupiter rules higher education. It's in Sagittarius, which talks about study abroad, which talks about a long distance away. I think that your daughter may end up finishing her studies either out of the country or on the other side of the country. And I think that you might actually move.
Follow her? I told her if she ever goes anywhere, I'm going to follow her.
Well, I think you probably will. Okay. Meanwhile, this is probably going to take a few years before it all plays out. So she's going to start, close enough to home to be close to mom. All of her decisions are really inclusive of you. Just be aware of that. I don't know if it's just you and she, but it almost feels like that in the chart. That
my husband too.
Yeah, but it's you and she. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why you say that. Yeah.
She's always going to be looking out for mom. And so, the more freedom that you can give to her, and if your husband's willing to support you in that, the more independent she's going to be able to be. And yeah, I see her a long way. I do see her going all the way through right to the end of that med school. It's a long program she's going to be involved with. It may be longer than she even anticipates right now. So there's probably going to be special involved, et cetera, et cetera. This is special.
Thank you.
Cool.
Well, I'm not surprised that you say that. She's been so amazing to watch grow up. Nothing the way I was through school. She's a Capricorn, and she's very strong-willed with what she's doing. She follows through, and it's been amazing to watch.
Yeah, and she's a Capricorn, and during the years that she was born, Pluto was moving through Capricorn. So she's the Capricorn with the iron fist. She's the Capricorn who is going to achieve her goal no matter what else is going on. But right now, you and her dad come first. Because
she is concerned about us.
Right. And that's, she really is, before this whole journey is done, she will be putting herself and eventually her own family first. If she meets somebody, which she certainly may before she's through med school, guess what? She'll pull them through med school right along with her. She's got the strength of character to do that. So
awesome.
Yeah. Tell her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will have her watch this.
Awesome. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. And can I say hi to my sister? I know she's on here watching. Her name is Alice. And when you were talking about the Irish, I wanted to say that she, her youngest son is Ryan Patrick. So he's our very Irish child in the family.
Very good. Yep. Hi, Alice.
Hi, Alice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Lisa, who is next?
Alrighty, the next victim is going to be Jeffrey. Jeffrey, are you there?
I am.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Hey, Sandy. As you just mentioned, I'm Jeffrey, and I'm from South Carolina. I am a Gemini, and as always, I'm most thankful for my 2 wonderful children. My question is more practical in nature. I bought your book, your tarot book, and it's fantastic, and I've read it probably 5 times.
Thanks.
And yeah, it's really great. And the tarot cards, I've always dreamed all my life, but recently I started taking the tarot cards and not looking at them at night and just placing one under my pillow, and I'm having these incredible dreams. And I took another book that you recommended by a gentleman named Richard Gardner, and I read it, and it was great as well. So my question is, do you recommend, what's your next literature recommendation for a person in my particular situation?
Well, are you also a student of the Kabbalah?
I have had a certain level of interest, but I've never read any books on it.
Okay, I can't recall the name of the book, but you can easily find it on Amazon.com. I think it's the Kabbalistic Tarot by Wang, and it is absolutely phenomenal. If you were interested, if you really enjoyed Evolution Through the Tarot, I think that was the book that you were referring to.
Yes, ma'am, that's it.
I think you'll also enjoy the Kabbalistic Tarot by Wang. I may have the name slightly off, but the author is Wang.
W-A-N-G.
W-A-N-G. Mm-hmm. And
that's really great.
Yeah, in addition to being a very spiritual look at tarot, it is also a really good introduction to Kabbalah. So it kind of hits both ends.
Well, that is some really great direction. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Yeah, and there's one other thing I want you to do too. And you're not always good at this, but the tarot is teaching you to do it. I would love for you to go to either a Barnes & Noble, a physical bookstore, a New Age bookstore if you have one near you, and go to the tarot section and just stand there until a book attracts you. Pull it off the shelf and let your intuition, learn to let your intuition guide you on the next step to your own educational development.
That's really great advice. And I think for me, that really is one of the hard things because I'm such a busy person.
Well,
and
so you're also very mental. You're very mental. And
yes, I am.
Yeah, and now there's nothing wrong with that. I want to, I'm a Gemini too. I get it. But I also know that sometimes that tendency to really dissect and pull everything apart and mentally analyze it gets in the way of your intuition from flowing. Okay? And the best way to let it flow is just to stand there and let your hand pick something. Just, yeah.
One of the funny things about that is I am very analytical. And initially I was skeptical about the tarot because I would look at the imagery and I would place it under my pillow. And if I had a dream, I was like, well, I looked at the imagery. So later I started to blindly place a card under my pillow. And these dreams that were so descriptive and had so many lessons, I would wake up in the morning and look at my card and it would just perfectly match the lessons. And I thought to myself, you can't analyze it anymore.
Yeah.
There's no mentality to that. It's absolute intuition.
I don't know if you remember from my book, but I want to just say this again here. When I was first learning the tarot myself, like you, I was having all the dreams of the tarot. There was a deck that I worked with in some past life that I would actually see those cards. That deck doesn't exist. Everybody says, Sandy, you need to draw that deck. I'm not good enough. My artistic ability is just not good enough. But even if it was, I don't know if I could draw it because it was so three-dimensional and it drew you in. And it was basically just what you were describing. So you might have been reading with the same deck I was way back in past history. It was a deck that literally would draw you in the same way that a 3D video game draws you in, where all of a sudden you're in the world of that card, which is why it could bring those dreams, okay? So who knows, maybe the deck we were working with was actually not a physical paper deck of cards at all. Maybe it was like a 3D video game only in cards. And who knows, maybe someday you're going to design that.
Well, I've seen several of the cards and I've attempted to draw them because I am a bit of an artist, but it's very, very difficult to try to transpose something.
That's 3D.
It's very difficult. But I'm trying to do it with acrylics, so you're limited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about, and folks, I hope you're grasping what we're talking about here. This is literally let me take one of these tarot cards that I've got on my desk. It's literally like taking this tarot card, let me hold it up here so you can see it. I'm looking at an 8 of Pentacles, okay? Now imagine this 8 of Pentacles being so three-dimensional that you find yourself literally being sucked into it. And once you're in, you can turn to your right and you can see what's behind that tree where the pentacles are lining. And you can turn to your left and you can see the rest of the city. And you can even look back at where you came from and you could see the portal. It's literally three-dimensional. And he's talking about drawing that.
Yes, I remember specifically the Two of Swords, and I was looking out over this 7-story balcony of a castle and this vast body of water. It just completely blew my mind. But it's not something I can easily put on a 4x4 canvas with acrylic paints.
Mm-hmm. Really, there's a video game there of the tarot with 3D tarot, each card. If somebody can just, if somebody is good at designing video games, or maybe you could get together with somebody, and there's also a book there, because each tarot card is a portal, isn't it? Things to think about.
Yes, ma'am. I've had very specific dreams about individual specific cards, and I write every one of them down just for my own personal benefit. But your book has just opened my mind up to new territories, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, and thanks for this conversation, because it turns me on. These are the things that I find most exciting in life. Thank you. And
Thank you,
I wish you much luck with all of that. I think you're going to do a whole lot with the tarot. I think it's more than reading it. It's more than studying it. I think you and it are going to develop something that maybe hasn't existed before. So
I appreciate that, Sandy. Thank you for that encouragement.
You're welcome. Good luck. And Lisa, we do have just enough time left for me to do one more person.
Well, that's just perfect, because I'm going to read one out of the chat room that I know a lot of people are going to be interested in. This question is from Miriam. Sun sign is Virgo. She's from Las Vegas, and she's grateful for the support system in her life right now. And her question is, what is the best way to work through this current retrograde?
Well, here we go. Let's look at the chart. There's little old Mercury right here at 27 degrees of Pisces retrograde. And it's got about 3 more weeks of being retrograde, where it's going to go across the sun. It's going to go across Neptune. And honestly, I would, number 1, slow down. Number 2, do not jump to conclusions. Neptune and Mercury are slowly coming together. Somebody recently said to me, give somebody enough rope and they will hang themselves. Okay? So if there's something in your life that concerns you or that you're suspicious of, all you need do is watch and wait, and it will be exposed sometime in the next 3 weeks. You're going to get clarity. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't take action before it's time to take action, because if you do, you'll never see with the clarity that you will if you wait. If you just hold your temper, if you just maintain that inner peace, if you just remember that Sandy said, be patient, okay? If you do those things, slow yourself down, have patience, watch and wait, and let it come to you instead of trying to reach out to grab it. And you're going to have the clarity you need no matter what it is that you've got an issue about right now. Okay, and I do hope that answered your question. How am I personally dealing with that transit? That's how. Okay, and what's interesting, if you find yourself watching and waiting and being patient, in the meantime, your intuition is going to develop something incredible. Because as things become, you'll have a feeling about something, and then it becomes uncovered, and you say, wow, I was right. You see that? or you feel like you need to be at a certain time or a certain place, you need to take action, but you wait on it to see what's going to happen, and all of a sudden somebody says, I need you to come with me. And you say, yeah, I knew about that. So what this is going to do is it's also going to help you with your own self-trust. It's helping you to get in touch with your intuition, folks, big time. So this isn't all so bad, okay? Now, if you overstep, if you jump to conclusions, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to end up with broken relationships that didn't need to be broken. You're going to end up with a lot of misunderstandings. You're going to end up in a position where you're living in the fog instead of having the clarity you otherwise could have had. So the big thing is, don't jump to conclusions. Be patient. Okay? Lisa, is she still typing in the chat room? How'd that do for her?
She said, thank you so much, right on, and she would like to take the astrology class.
Good. Good. Yeah, when you see me work here, you see me doing things with astrology that aren't typical of astrologers, okay? And let me just explain a few things. First of all, this is a horary chart. This chart is only good for one night, okay? Now, the things I'm talking about do have a spread, but this chart reflects everybody in this room. And when we're done with the evening, then basically I crumble it up and throw it away, because this moment when I can predict for all of us together will be gone once I close this portal for this webinar. Okay, so understand that this is not a natal astrology chart. Now, the other thing is that because I've been, number one, studying for so many years, and also because my guides are astrologers, these planets aren't planets to my guides. They're people, they're energies, they're entities. They literally walk and move through your life as they appear in this chart. So it would be, yes, I would love for you to study astrology, because astrology is the greatest tool in the world for learning about yourself, for learning about timing of events, for predicting events. But to get to the point where the chart comes alive, okay, as it does for me, you've got to study my astrology for yourself. It's on my website. That's a good place to start. You've got to learn that the planets aren't just a symbol. They're almost like a being, they come alive in the chart. They interconnect with one another. And when you get to that point, now the chart actually talks to you. And that's when you're doing a reading that's a combination of astrology and channeling and psychic work and even tarot. Okay? And yeah, on my website, I've got all the stuff that you would need to learn how to do that. Okay? It's doable. Good luck to you. Folks, I want to remind you, if I didn't get to your question, you can connect with me anytime. Send me a single question anytime up through 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. Only if you were physically here on the webinar. Okay? Only you folks are invited, because that's my way of saying thanks to you. Remember, my VIP members, my tarot class is half price for you all through the month of March. And if you're not a VIP member, it's easy to join. Just go to my website and follow the instructions. You can join up. So yes, you could join and still get that half price right up through the end of March. It actually pays for the cost of the membership, okay, which is kind of nice. You also need to make a note. Our next psychic hour is April 7th. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Good night, everybody. I love you all very much. Have a happy, happy St. Patty's Day. Enjoy. Good night.